as you follow along to this routine, all our sticks that we use are color coded. And if you buy yours off of Amazon or Temu or wherever you buy your tools, if you bought the same ones, they obviously don't come color coded. So I'm just gonna show you and explain which are which, just so that you know. So we don't use these first two because they're too big to use for anything, so you can just set those aside, because in most of my videos, we don't use them. And so you're left with these. So in this order, you can look, and it basically goes in this order from biggest to smallest: green, blue, white, yellow, pink, and black, down to the smallest one. For today's class, I'll be using this color palette. For paint color number 1, I'm using Deco Art Americana Snow White. For number 2, I'm using Craft Smart Dark Yellow. For number 3, I'm using Craft Smart Sage Green. Number 4, I'm using Craft Smart Pink Blast. Number 5 is Deco Art Americana Carousel Pink. And number 6 is Craft Smart Silver. Okay, so we're gonna get started on the dome stone. So for the first step, we're gonna take the green stick with paint color number 1. And if you look closely on your dome stone, you can see like a little indent right in the middle, and that's your middle. So we're gonna take the green stick and we're gonna place it right on that little indent. Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly, the bigger end, with paint color 5. And because we don't have guidelines and we want to make sure our design is as symmetrical as possible, there's almost like a method, you could say, that I use to make sure that the design is as symmetrical as possible. So, yes, larger end. So we're gonna take and put a dot anywhere around this big one. Then you're gonna look right across from it and place one there. Then you're gonna try and find the middle of these two and place one across from there. And then another one across from there. So you get these 4 dots like north, south, west, east.
I'm so sorry, what number paint?
5.
Thank you.
Okay, once we have these 4 dots, we're gonna take the same tool, same paint, and go back and place dots in between those gaps so that you end up with 8 dots of. And then once you do that, we're gonna go back a second time and put dots in between those gaps. So you should have 16 dots in total.
Are you adding paint for each dot?
Yes, you want to re-dip into the paint each time. The only time you don't want to re-dip is when we're walking the dots and we want the dots to purposely get smaller. Okay, I just want to say something. When you get your Q-tips wet and you dip it in the water, put it on your paper towel so that it soaks up that extra water so that there's not a puddle on your rock, because then it's just gonna touch all the other dots and make it worse. So you're just gonna get it very lightly wet, and then when you wipe it, you're gonna twirl your Q-tip so you like pick up the paint. Don't go like this. Okay? Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly again, bigger end, with paint color 3.
Paint color 3?
Yes. And we're gonna put these dots basically in between but above, so like that. So we're not putting it completely above like this, but almost in that little indent.
Can you start over?
In between, not right on top, okay.
I'm sorry, what end did you say?
Bigger end.
I'm okay with this being the first one,
To see this color.
so it's sort of a signature. Sort of.
In between each of those.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, I see, you can't see.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the white twirly, the bigger end, with paint color 6. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna place these dots in between but above.
3 or 2?
And the bigger end, did you say?
Yes, bigger end.
No, you can't.
I'll have to put my sleeve in it. So, between the next.
Yeah. Did you say the big end?
Yes, big end.
And was the one before that the big end also, or the little end?
Big end.
Thank you, I'm sorry, I'm a little behind, I'll catch
It's
up.
okay.
That's what I used to tell all my professors, I'll catch up. Did you know that the bra size 32s and all of that are not?
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the blue twirly, the bigger end,
Victorian blouse size.
with paint color 2. And we're gonna do the same thing, in between but above.
Yeah, go with the John Adams.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink stick with paint color 4 stick, pink stick. Yeah. Paint color 4.
4.
And we're gonna put these in between but above, but we're gonna skip a gap. So you should have 8 of these in total.
This is the pink stick.
Yes.
Hang on.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly with paint color 1, and we're gonna walk the dots. So bigger end for this first dot, then you'll switch to the smaller end and walk the dots around, and then redip, and then the other way.
And that was one paint.
Yes, paint color 1.
Pink margin for the center one. And someone's like, oh, this person she swore. She don't swear, my classroom. I don't swear here.
When she was telling me about this yesterday, I said, boys are stupid. She goes, oh, we don't say stupid.
Oh yeah, that's the S word.
Yeah.
Looks like they're.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly again, bigger end with paint color 3. And we're gonna walk the dots again. So bigger end for the first dot, and then you'll switch to the smaller end to walk the
And
dots.
color number 3?
Yes.
This was the hard one, because it's so hard to see.
Oh, she doesn't want to.
Oh, so did you do the big dots all that? Did you do that? I got that.
It's 4 on each side of the sign is kind of organized. It's not right center.
Let me know if I can get that out. Well, I mean, for viewing purposes.
So Mary, so here's that was not happy. Tomorrow is this. Yeah. This is yours, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, honestly.
Quiet one will hurry up.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly, bigger end with paint color 2, and we're gonna walk the dots again. So bigger end for this first dot, and then, but you won't switch to the smaller end. You're just gonna re-dip the bigger end and walk the dots with the bigger end.
Can you say that one more time?
So
Color pink, bigger end.
pink twirly, bigger end with paint color 2, and bigger end for this first dot, and then you'll just re-dip with the bigger end and walk the dots with the bigger end.
You said 2, right?
Yes, paint color 2.
Sorry, you've already used. I'm getting closer to being caught up. I just quit sticking my hand in the design. There we go.
Okay, so next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly, the bigger end, with paint color 5. And we're gonna start in between the first and the second dot of the walking the dots. And we're gonna drag down in between.
Both shadow.
I don't like that. Bigger end?
Bigger end, yes.
Color again? 5.
Paint color 5.
Okay, so,
And you wanna make sure that they don't touch at the top.
Not to touch, okay.
number 5. I'm afraid I did that. Yeah, it's the first time.
Oh, wait, something.
It's this one. Then what?
That's cool. This is fine.
I'm just gonna do that. My signatures.
Good that this doesn't show on mine.
So we're taking the big one
Okay,
down, right?
Yeah.
and this is paint number color what?
5,
5. And the one before it was what?
2.
2. You really have to take care of me, I'm sorry.
Sometimes it looks good and sometimes it doesn't.
I haven't gotten to the looks good.
My goodness, I am.
Quite as far.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly, the bigger end with paint color 6. So bigger end, and we're gonna place 1 dot right there. Then you'll switch to the smaller end and walk the dots basically along this drag up.
That's my cell phone, sorry. I've been testing different music or sounds. My dogs started to figure out, you know, the difference between the ringtone and the phone. So I have a lot of barking.
What was that one?
So this is number 5?
Number 5, pink, twirly, big side.
Big and in between.
How far do
right?
you go?
I'll go back out. Like that?
Now, do we use the little side for walking the dot?
Yes.
Thank you. Big twirly.
6.
What is the number for, that you're on now?
6.
Thank you.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the yellow stick
Oh, you walked in.
with paint color 1. And we're just gonna put a dot right here on top.
I know, it's like, right there, spread out. Yes.
At the very beginning of 2007.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly, the smaller end,
I'm sorry.
with paint color 4.
Smaller end.
And we're gonna start down here and drag up. and then start in the same spot and drag up the other way. So like we're drawing birdies, basically.
Yeah, this is my brain doesn't wanna do that. Number 4. Watch your sleeves.
This is what it is. It is what it is.
I think this one is.
Okay, so it is. Oh, I don't have those ones to do with those. Like,
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink stick with paint color 3. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna place one dot here, and then we're gonna place another dot basically above it like this, and then 2 dots to the side like this.
And you didn't re-dip your stick at all, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
you did re-dip it?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. And you said
So redip for each of them, so they should all be about the same
Yes,
size.
yes.
3.
I don't know about this.
Looks nerve-wracking. Fixed it. Dots.
Practice. I like it. Very therapeutic.
When you want to get in some practice, like.
I'm labeling this one.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the white twirly with paint color 2. And with the bigger end, we're gonna place 1 dot right there. Hold that. And then with the smaller end, we're gonna walk the dots straight down to this white dot.
Or to the, yeah.
I think she said 2. 2.
Yes, paint color 2.
Yeah, that's gonna be harder because you don't have something to follow the same.
I know. No, not you. I forget you say switch.
Yes, yes, switch.
So the
Yeah.
smaller?
We do the big dot with the big end.
Okay.
And then you walk the dot with the smaller end. At least 3 times and still get people that don't know what they're doing. It's fine.
next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly, bigger end, and we're gonna go inside of our walking the dots and do a drag here. I'm looking around and I see some of you don't have enough room to do that. So if you don't have room, you don't have to. It's just I have a lot of room here, so I'm gonna kind of fill it up. 5, paint color 5. If you do have room, we're gonna start here next to the white dot and just swoosh up. And this is on the inside.
That's a great color scheme.
Very positive, thank you for that.
We're gonna do something else on the outside. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, next step,
I already do.
we're gonna take the white twirly, bigger end, with paint color 6. And we're gonna start here in between and drag up one way and drag up the other way.
Dragging is so hard.
Did you make, I'm sorry, did you make like one center dot in the middle and drag both ways, or is it two like full drags?
It's 2 full drags.
Okay.
They do connect here, so
They
we're
do
making
connect.
we're making birdies
Birds.
again. Yeah.
Okay, and then inside that we're supposed to do, beach bike with a bag.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the black stick with paint color 5. And we're gonna go to these white dots that we did over here and we're gonna overlap them. So you don't wanna completely overlap it to where you don't see the white, but you wanna still leave a sliver of the original color.
Wait, I'm sorry, white stick you said?
Black stick.
Black, I'm sorry.
I just thought it's somebody else.
That's where you're artistic.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the black stick again with paint color 1. And we're gonna put a dot right here.
The birds. Okay. Two, right? No, number 1.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink stick with paint color 4. And we're gonna put this dot above the white ones we just did.
She's much further down.
I did.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly with paint color 3. and we're gonna walk the dots. So bigger end for this first dot, and then you'll switch to the smaller end to walk the dots around.
And
All
that's
the way
what-
down?
Oh, no, just around the bend.
Oh, is it?
And then, what number is that?
3.
Thank you. Do we ever put anything in the center of the white one on the top?
We will,
Oh,
yeah.
we do, cool. Way of having us look at it.
This way you see what you're doing.
Okay, so I was looking around, and most of you, well, some of you are getting really low down here. So if you have your design really far already, then you are done
Okay.
for the rock. But I still have room, so I'm gonna keep going. So for those of you who also have room, let's keep going. We're gonna take the pink twirly with paint color 2, and we're gonna walk the dots again. So bigger end for the first dot, and then you'll switch to the smaller end.
Can I just wipe the whole thing down and start over?
Okay, so no, right,
Yeah, large on the top, and walk with the small.
color 2.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the white twirly with paint color 5, and we're gonna walk the dots again. Bigger end for the first dot, and then smaller end to walk the dots.
tired.
How much longer to this class?
And actually, when you walk the dots, don't switch to the smaller end. Just re-dip with the bigger end and walk.
So,
Yeah, she's very.
Excuse me?
It's hard to be
How much
friends.
longer to the class?
how much longer till the class
Hi.
ends?
As long as you want, okay? Well, I know, I've got to be over in Lincoln at 1:30, so.
Yeah, shares.
Okay. Where do you next? Wait a minute. So you said the Longhorns, you said Oklahoma State, right? So,
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the black stick and the blue twirly with paint color 3. So we're gonna take the black stick first and just place a dot right here. And then we're gonna take the blue twirly, the bigger end, and walk the dots to the middle here.
You said 3, right?
Yes,
I'm sorry, number 3?
yes.
It's nice meeting you both.
Black face the dot, and then which end of the blue?
Oh, that's Sprouts.
Bigger end of the blue twirly.
So you don't switch themselves a farmer's
No.
market?
No, I get it.
But there's one at Online. Ooh. Fowler Ranch.
Where is she walking the dog
They're open on Sunday year round.
Fowler?
Fowler.
Okay, good, good, good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
I'm walking the dog really bad.
Getting down low.
So next step, we're gonna take the white twirly, bigger end, with paint color 6, and we're gonna swoosh.
Oh, no. These are so cute.
Okay, these last 2 steps are super easy. We're just gonna do some overlapping. So we're gonna take the white stick with paint color 2, and we're gonna come over to the middle dot
This kid.
and overlap it like that. And then very last step, we're gonna take the little black stick with paint color 4, and we're gonna overlap the 4 dots that we have over here, and we're gonna overlap them to where they're all like facing towards each other, like this, basically.
And what color is that?
Paint color 4.
So the center one is black stick, paint color 2, the center dot?
White stick, paint
White
color
stick
2.
and 2.
And now we are finally done. That was a while, huh? That was
That was
that
awesome.
took a long time.
Actually, we were here for 3 hours last time. So, this is